Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of the chapter metals and non-metals. This video would be completely based upon the chemical properties of them. First of all, let's see the reaction with oxygen. Metal combines with oxygen to form metal oxide or basic oxide. For example, sodium plus oxygen gives sodium oxide, aluminium plus oxygen gives aluminium oxide. Those metal oxides which show basic as well as acidic behavior are known as amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides react with both acid as well as bases to form salts and water. That is, aluminum oxide reacts with HCl. This is your acid to form aluminium chloride. That's your salt plus water. In this reaction, it behaves as a basic oxide because it reacts with the acid. And as you know, acid plus water gives salt and water. This is your neutralization reaction. Next is aluminum oxide reacts with sodium hydroxide. This is your base to form salt, and here it is behaving as an acidic oxide. But when I talk about non-metals react with oxygen to form acidic oxides or neutral oxides. For example, carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. Sulfur dioxide plus water gives sulfurous acid, H2SO3. That is, sulfur when reacts with oxygen, it forms sulfur dioxide, that is your acidic oxide. Now let's perform an experiment. We take a small amount of sulfur powder in a deflagrating spoon. Okay, now we'll just put it on the burner. After some time, sulfur will start burning with a blue flame. But as soon as sulfur starts burning, we will introduce that spoon in a gas jar and we will allow the sulfur to burn inside the gas. So sulfur burns in the air of the gas jar to form a pungent smelling gas. After all it's burnt, remove the deflagrating spoon from the jar and cover it with a lid. So the jar now contains sulfur dioxide gas. This is how we'll observe an sulfur dioxide gas. There are some nonmetals which are neutral, being neither acidic nor basic, like your carbon and hydrogen, isn't it? Carbon plus oxygen gives carbon monoxide, that's your neutral oxide. Even hydrogen plus oxygen gives water, that's your neutral oxide. Now let's see the reaction with the water. Metal reacts with water to form metal hydroxide plus hydrogen, and it reacts with the steam to form metal oxide plus hydrogen. For example, potassium plus water gives potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen plus heat. An important point to be noted is magnesium reacts with hot water and not the cold water to form magnesium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Now let's perform an experiment to show the reaction of metals with steam. As you can refer from the apparatus, what we will do, metals get hot, then the glass wool is heated by using another burner. The water present in the wool, it forms steam on heating, and this steam is passed over the hot metal, which reacts with the steam to form corresponding metal oxide plus hydrogen gas. So the hydrogen gas which is coming out of the boiling tube, it is then collected over by the gas jar and the gas burned with a pop sound if you will take a matchstick over there. So as we know the property of hydrogen, it burns with the pop sound. So if I'll react or if I'll arrange them on the basis of their reactivity, then metals will be on, magnesium will be on highest number, then aluminium, then zinc, then iron. But on the other hand, non-metals do not react with waters. Non-metals, they are not evolving hydrogen gas. And why is it so? It's because they do not give electrons to reduce the hydrogen ions of water into hydrogen gas. Third, reaction with the dilute acid. Metal react with dilute acid to form metal, salt and hydrogen. For example, sodium plus HCl gives NaCl plus hydrogen. Aluminium first reacts slowly with dilute HCl due to the presence of tough protective layer of aluminium oxide on its surface. But when the thin outer oxide layer gets dissolved in acid, then fresh aluminum metal is exposed, which reacts with the rapidly with dilute HCl, that is aluminium plus HCl gives aluminium chloride plus hydrogen. On the other hand, nonmetals do not react with dilute acids. An important point to be noted is very dilute nitric acid, that is your HNO3, reacts with magnesium and manganese metals to evolve hydrogen. You can see the equation of that. Now let's see reaction with the salt solution. An important point to be noted is a more reactive metal displaces a less reactive metal from its salt solution. That means salt solution of metal B plus metal A gives salt solution of metal A plus metal B. For example, copper sulfate, that is blue solution, plus zinc silvery white will give zinc sulfate, that is colorless solution, plus copper. But in case of non-metal, a more reactive non-metal displaces a less reactive non-metal from its salt solution. Example, sodium bromide plus chlorine gives sodium chloride plus bromine. Now let's see reaction with the chlorine. Metal reacts with chlorine to form ionic chloride. For example, calcium plus chlorine gives chloride. And non-metals react with chlorine to form covalent chlorides, which are non-electrolyte, means which do not conduct electricity. Like hydrogen is a non-metal, so it reacts with chlorine to give hydrogen chloride. This is your covalent chloride. Even phosphorus plus chlorine gives phosphorus trichloride. It is also your covalent chloride. And why is it so that non-metals form covalent chloride? Because they cannot give electrons to chlorine atoms to form the chloride ions. This can be a reasoning question. Then last we have reaction of metals with hydrogen. Metals react with hydrogen to form metal hydrides, but an important to be noted is only a few reactive metals like sodium and potassium, calcium and magnesium react with the hydrogen. Like sodium plus hydrogen gives sodium hydride, calcium plus hydrogen gives calcium hydride. They both are ionic hydride. What about non-metals? They also react with hydrogen to form covalent hydrides. For example, nitrogen plus hydrogen gives ammonia and hydrogen plus sulfur gives hydrogen sulfide. These both are your covalent hydride. So this was all about this video. Thank you so much for watching.